Hi, and welcome to my channel, Laura's Library Card. So today is Monday, and I'm in a little bit of a pickle. Not really a pickle, but I'm having decision paralysis. So let me explain. Yesterday was Sunday, and it was the last day of last week's vlog at the time that you're seeing this. And I finished role-playing by Kathy Yardley. I liked it. It was great. I was able to use it for the third leg of the race, the third prompt for the Amazing Readathon, which I am participating in for the whole month of June. That prompt was movement. Playing counted as movement. I was able to use that book for that prompt. Ta-da, ta-da. Also yesterday, I teased at the very end of that last vlog that a new prompt, the next leg of the race, had dropped. And so I was very excited about that. I can now reveal that the next leg of the city, the fourth leg of the whole shebang, the whole readathon, is Paris. And the prompt, because Paris is hosting the Olympics this year, is to read a book that has won an award. So I did a quick little look as to the couple things that I had options-wise to read next, and the first couple things that I wanted to read did not have awards that were going to count. But Enemies of the State by Tal Bauer is a book that I read last week, finished last week. I definitely finished it last week. I don't remember if I started it last week, but whatever. Loved it, had a great time with that, and had saved it because I had thought it might work for dual point of view, but then it has more than 2 point of views. Saved it to potentially use in the future, and it works. It won an award the year that it came out. I'll put some of that information up here on the screen because I don't remember it off the top of my head, but it won an award. It counts. I already submitted it. I am on top of things. The day that the fourth prompt dropped, was able to submit a book. And now I wait. So I am a little concerned, and I've been saying this the whole time, I'm a little concerned that I won't be able to finish all 10 legs of this race. I just think that, in a perfect world, could I finish a lot of books, finish a book every 3 days? Sure. Is 10 books in a month about what I could reasonably do? Sure. I don't want to push myself. I'm not going to push myself too much, but it could happen, could not happen. I really want to know what the next prompt is because now I don't know what to read next. That's my decision paralysis. So today I went to work and I didn't really know what to start. I didn't really want to start anything because I wanted to know what the next prompt was, but I'm not going to know what the next prompt is until it drops, which is probably going to be the day after tomorrow. Realistically, every 3 to 4 days is when the next drop happens. So yeah, I'm a little stuck. So I do have a few audiobooks checked out from the library. I have Funny Story, is that what it's called? Funny Story by Emily Henry checked out from the library on audiobook format. I also have Iron Flame checked out on audiobook format. I also have Deal with the Elf King checked out on audiobook format. I also have the ebook of The Mysterious Case of Alperton Angels checked out. I also have the physical copy of that, and because the first I did start reading that a little bit, and I also read the first few pages of Pucking Wild, which I have the physical copy of, but I think is on Kindle Unlimited, so I could get it. It looks like the Alperton Angels book is a lot of mixed media, and I think that I would do better with that physically in front of me because the formatting has already been a little weird on my Kindle. But I don't know what to read. I want to read something that will then magically fit the next prompt, but I obviously don't know what that prompt is going to be, so I'm just going to have to wing it. I know that quite a number of those books could potentially be used for the sightseeing prompts, but I always could shift something that I was intending to use for sightseeing to use for the city prompt, but my brain was in work mode and did not want to have to make any more decisions today. And so I didn't. I listened to BookTube, I listened to YouTube, I listened to music, and I don't want to say that I wasted a day because I don't feel like it's a waste to do things that I enjoy, and I'm not trying to burn myself out in this readathon, but also I know that if one of those books would have fit the next prompt, I would have already started it, So I think I'm going to just go ahead and make a decision. I think that this evening, if I have time, I think I'm going to work on Alperton Angels, just because it's something a little bit different to what I typically read. The last multiple books that I have read have all been romances. Like, I've been like deep in the romance. Yeah. The last number of books I've read have all been romances. And so I'm thinking like a mystery might spice things up, but I don't know. So that's where I'm at. I don't have an amazing update. What a way to start the vlog, but this is real life. So, yeah, there you go. There's my first update, and I will try to tune in before I go to bed with what I officially decided to get started with. Hi, ignore if you can hear Ben in the background. No, you can't. Today is Tuesday. I am home from work. I had a busy morning, but I'm here to update you with the two actual things. Last night before I went to bed, I actually started The Mysterious Case of the Alperton Angels by Janice Hallett. I first heard about this recommendation from Mara over at Books Like Whoa. And she said she kind of raved about it, and I thought, okay, that sounds interesting. I like an occasional mystery. I started it last night. I got the first 12 pages. So far, it's kind of like info dumpy, and it looks like the whole book is going to be mixed media. It's so far just been like emails and messages and lists and stuff. So it sort of is it's not hard to piece together what's happening. It sounds like there's multiple people who are reaching out to this woman named Amanda, true crime author, is looking to revive her career by writing a book on this case, the Alperton Angels case. So yeah, the first chapter is, so far, the first 20 pages is just kind of a dump of her research and that kind of thing. So we shall see how it goes. I haven't really retained much quite yet, but I am so close to the start of this book, I don't really have much of an opinion yet, but started that last night before I went to bed, and then today I got over my paralysis, my decision paralysis, by starting one of the audiobooks that I had checked out from Libby. So I started Funny Story by Emily Henry. This book is interesting so far. I've gotten through the first 25% of the audiobook, and in the start of this book, we hear from our main character, Daphne, and she, in the first 5 minutes of the audiobook, talks about how she's not been having a great time recently because her fiance connected up with his childhood best friend, who turned out to be not super platonic. And when she confessed that she's been in love with him this whole time, he realizes he's been in love with her the whole time. And Peter like dumps Daphne and is like, oh, hey, like, we're gonna give you a week while we putz around Italy for you to move out so that she can move in. And this completely has blindsided Daphne, and she has to figure out a place to live. And so she ends up moving in with Petra's ex, because Petra, who confessed to Peter that she loved him and has for years, was dating someone too. So both Miles and Daphne are the two people who got dumped so that Peter and Petra could be together. And now Miles and Daphne are living together. And when they, only 6 weeks or so later after this dumping happened, both receive wedding invitations for Peter and Petra, they get drunk about it, and they decide that Peter and Petra deserve to not be the bigger people and deserve to have their exes that they, dumped and kind of hurt, to come to the wedding. And so Miles and Daphne drunkenly, yes, RSVP. And then when Peter calls about it and is like, hey, you don't really have to come, she's like, no, I'm coming. And he's like, yeah, but you don't have to come like alone. It's just gonna be you there all sad and pity party. And she's like, I'm not coming alone because I'm dating Miles. And he's like, oh. And Miles is like 100% on board. He's like, cool, let's fake date. Let's go to this wedding together, and we will show them. We will make them jealous. So that's the premise, and I assume that over the course of this book, Miles and Daphne are going to fall in love. So yeah, I'm enjoying the first 25%. I have enjoyed all of Emily Henry's books. I think I've given all of them 3 to 5 stars. I felt like Beach Read and Happy Place were two of my favorites. I felt like People, Women on Vacation was my least favorite, and I literally can't even remember the other one. Oh, Book Lovers, it was just good. So yeah, I'm not really sure where this one is going to fall. I feel like I like her characterization and her writing. I feel like so far Daphne has been an interesting character to you know, have her as a main perspective. I like her sarcasm, and I like her like wit and her snappy comebacks, and that's fun. So yeah, I'm having a good time so far, and I am glad that I dove right into this one. So yeah, that's my update. Right now, I am a little bummed because D&D was supposed to be tonight, and it has been canceled slash it's been canceled, and we've pushed it to next week. So I'm hopeful that I can hang out with Benjamin and we can, I don't know, go get dinner or something. Maybe, you know, maybe eat in, but then like go and get dessert or something and hang out some this evening. But also, he's streaming. That's why he's talking in the background. And I don't know when that is going to be done. But in the meanwhile, I think I'm going to try to make a dent into Alperton Angels. And I, you know, if I end up liking it or whatever my update is, I will be sure to let you know. Hello. So we went to Crumbl. So we're going to do a taste test, and we'll see which one of these we even like. So which kind did we get?
I don't remember. Toffee cake and
Open it up and we'll see. Ooh. So this one is blueberry pancake. Ben wanted that one. This one is mint chocolate chip or something. Mint cookies and cream. This is a toffee cake. It's like in a like plastic tin. It's like, I think we might need a fork for that. And this one is kitchen sink. I thought that sounded a little more interesting than just like chocolate chip. So, well, will you try a bite of each one?
I'll try a bite of each one.
Okay. Well, we will start with the kitchen sink. It looks like this has chocolate chips, potato chips, pretzels. Maybe white chocolate too. I don't know. So, I mean, it's pretty plain, good. Got a little, I like the crunch. I kind of like the saltiness.
I don't much care for that.
Okay. And then what, you want to do your toffee next, or do you think we need a fork for that?
I think we need a fork for that. Let's just skip that one.
Okay. Mint cookies and cream is next. Go ahead and take a bite.
I like that.
I thought it was good. The mint has like it's like subtle. It's not like really like wham bam thank you ma'am. It's like it's more like an ice cream, like a mint chocolate chip ice cream sort of minty flavor.
But you can still taste like the cookies and cream.
Yeah, you can still taste the like cookies and cream chocolate cookie kind of thing.
Oh.
We're gonna try. You're gonna try the blueberry pancake one?
I can do that one first, sure.
We got a fork because it's like warm and gooey and soft, and he was not able to like pick it up like a cookie.
Yeah, it's
just like falling apart.
Yeah.
It looks more like it's made out of like fluffy pancakey kind of texture from here, but
yeah.
I don't think I'm gonna like it. Is that like a whipped butter frosting?
It's like buttercream.
You can definitely taste like pancake inspiration.
I was really hoping it was just going to be more of like a blueberry cookie. Mm-hmm. It's definitely more like pancakey.
I don't hate it. I thought I wouldn't like this one. It kind of is more like blueberry muffin-y, in my opinion.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. But it's good. I like it. More than I thought I would. Let's try the toffee.
Toffee cake.
Toffee cake.
I think it's actually cake. I don't think it's a cookie.
Yeah, I think it's cake too. But I'm not like a huge toffee fan, generally.
That's not bad.
It's not bad.
Yeah, it's chocolate cake with like a toffee.
I can see the like toffee, like Heath bar.
That's like a drizzle underneath though.
Like between the frosting and the cake?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, can you give me a bite?
No, I'm eating the whole thing. Crazy.
It doesn't have that much substance to it. It's like very light. And I guess it's mostly like chocolate forward, in my opinion.
I like it.
I don't dislike it, but it's not really a toffee that I was expecting. I think on my brain I was sort of expecting something more brownie texture than cake texture. But
crazy that you would think of brownie when it says toffee cake.
I know, but that's sort of what I was expecting. Okay, so ultimately we have kitchen sink, which I liked, but Ben did not.
Nope.
We have the mint cookies and cream, which I liked, and you liked.
I did.
It definitely has that cookies and cream sort of flavor. Then there's the blueberry pancake, which we both liked.
Yeah.
Definitely we're hoping more for like a blueberry cookie, whereas I think this is more a blueberry muffin inspired profile. And then there was toffee cake, which
I liked.
Okay. I thought it was fine.
That's
so
probably my favorite of the bunch.
So I was going to ask, rate them lowest to highest.
Lowest to highest? So the kitchen sink for sure. Blueberry, mint cookies and cream, and then the toffee cake.
I think I would put toffee at the bottom for me, and then kitchen sink, and then blueberry, and then mint, I think.
Crazy.
Well, thanks for trying. You get a rare B-roll footage. Hello. Hi. Okay, so I have much to report, actually. Yesterday, I made a little bit more progress in the mysterious case of the Alperton Angels. Please ignore the weird cat plus cardboard noises. Okay, that's enough. I made it to page 53. And this has been, like, fine so far. It's 100% thus far mixed media, and you are you, the reader, having to kind of piece together, like, what is going on. I'm not super hooked. Our sort of main character, if you will, is Amanda, and she's hoping to write a book about this case of the Alperton Angels that happened 18 years previously. And so far, most of the mixed media has been her like reaching out to people to try to make some contacts, to try to get some information about this case that was not necessarily what was like published in, newspapers and you could just Google, So that would be fine and good. But like Amanda is a journalist who is not above like blackmailing somebody and like threatening somebody and like playing this back and forth and like kind of game with a other journalist competitor kind of guy. So far I don't really like Amanda. I don't think that's really the point. But also I feel like we've been given information about the case in such tiny little like drips and drabs, or that there's like whole stuff that I'm reading that is like, this is my query letter to this random person. And I'm like, I don't know who that person is. Like, okay. And it just, I don't know. I'm not loving it so far. And I feel like it's taking a lot to get through. So I don't know. I'm going to keep giving it a little bit more of a try, but so far it's just kind of like, meh. Also, and then last night, right before bed, I was like, okay, I'm just going to read this like fun romance from Kindle Unlimited. So I started and then DNF'd Charlie by Daphne Leigh, I think is the author's name. I'll put a picture up here. I found this on Kindle Unlimited, and I don't remember where I got the original recommendation. I honestly think it might have been like an ad on Instagram, but based on the cover, I could tell that it was Why Choose book or potentially Polly, and it was terrible. So I DNF'd after the first 35 pages. I don't want to say like, oh, it's terrible. It is written like a Hallmark movie. And I like Hallmark movies. So like that's not doing justice, but like it's just like there is no emotional resonance. There is absolutely not a single moment of breath or opportunity to sit with any single thing, because it's literally like, my husband dumped me and my best friend moved in with him, and then I had no job, and then I had a job with some unexplained person, and then he sent me to Scotland and it was pretty, and then I met a guy and he was hot and he had glasses, and then we were making out, and so I think I'm in love with him. And I'm like, it is page 34 and all of that has happened, and it's like every page that you turn is the next thing. Not a single thing is explained. Not a single thing is described. It just feels, everything is awesome, and everything is just, it was just obnoxious. I could not get behind the writing style, and I didn't give a crap at all about what was going on or the people involved, so I DNF'd it. Usually I feel like I give things a little bit longer of a shot, but this I was like, no, I have no interest in reading any further. No, thank you. So I DNF'd that. Thankfully, I have multiple other things checked out from Kindle Unlimited. And today is Wednesday. I am home from work. I'm in my comfy clothes. And I saw just a little bit ago that the next leg of the Amazing Readathon has dropped. I literally have not even looked to see where the city was or what the prompt is or anything. I'm going to go do that in a minute. But today during work, I was able to listen to a little bit more. I'm at about 40% of the way into Funny Story. And I'm liking it. It doesn't necessarily feel super Emily Henry to me. And I don't really know exactly what I mean by that. Thank you. I don't know. It just feels sort of like, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. I was going to say it feels familiar, but I think it's really more of the sort of plot and tropes that feel familiar. Not that I think I've ever read a book where the two people who have just ceremoniously got dumped because their boyfriend and girlfriend got together with each other, and now the two dumped people are going to get together. But like, I don't know. It feels like the progression of what is happening is not anything like special. I don't know. I don't know how to phrase it. I'm enjoying it. It's perfectly fine. I just don't feel like maybe it's that I feel that other Emily Henry main characters have had like more going on, more like angst or some other like internal conflicts, and I just like don't really get that from our main character in Funny Story. So I don't know. I'm enjoying it, but I'm not head over heels. So it's easy enough to just chug along and listen to while I work, but I'm not like super in love with it. So I'm gonna go see what the next prompt is, and I will talk to you in half a second. Okay, so I just watched the video, and our next leg of the race will be to Cape Town, the capital of South Africa, and the prompt has to do with nature. You need to read a book that has some sort of element of nature on the cover. So I will be reading, I'm trying to cover my library sticker, The Roughest Draft, because it has these leaves on it. This is by Emily Wibberley and Austin Sigmund Broca. It's a lot of names. I actually need to do this for a buddy read, and just skimming through, it looks like it's dual point of view, so I am interested. I don't know a ton about it. I think it's like, yeah, these two characters used to co-write together, but then they ended their partnership on bad terms and haven't spoken, never planned to, but then they have one contract that they have to come back together and write together again. And I think that they are going to be writing a romance, and then I think that they fall in love while they do that. So I have this book, and it has leaves on the cover, so that's what I will be reading to complete the 5th leg of the race. Hi, hello. It is Thursday afternoon. It actually basically is my Friday afternoon because I took tomorrow off. So yeah, it was partly just because I really needed a day off, and partly because the Faceoff 48-hour event for the Amazing Readathon starts at noon Friday. So I was like, I want to participate. I want to help my team. I didn't really update you again last night because I didn't do any further reading last night. I chose The Roughest Draft for the next leg of the race, that prompt, and then I didn't even start it. Actually, I think it's right over here at the top of this stack over there. So I didn't really do much else. I was busy with putting together some dinner, and I watched the 2014 French version of The Beauty and the Beast, and it was at least pretty to look at. and I hung out with Benjamin and updated my book journal and was on some sprints while I was updating my book journal. I wasn't reading, so I didn't have much to add, and I went to bed kind of too late, but that's okay. So I don't really have plans for the rest of today. I was hopeful to kind of chillax a little bit. Now that I'm home, I turned the air conditioning up, turned the temperature down. Yes, I plan to relax. I hope to get some reading in. I hope to update my book journal a little bit further because I'm starting to get behind. I'm already behind, but I don't want to get even more behind. I might read. I might watch some TV. I just want to kind of chillax. But yeah, I'm really happy that I have tomorrow off, and I, of course, have already kind of overplanned it with I'm going to go to the library. I'm going to do this. I'm going to read 1,000,000 books for the Faceoff. I planned a game night. So we shall see how all of that goes. I just wanted to kind of tune in to say I don't have anything to update you about. Oh, that's not true. So today at work, I listened to another chunk of the audiobook of Funny Story. I don't actually know where I am at now. I'm maybe 60%. And while I am enjoying it, I feel like it's going kind of slow. I feel like I don't know. I feel like every time I look, I expect to have been making further progress than I have. And I'm like, what do you mean I'm only at only 2% further? I'm not oh, this is so slow. Oh, it's miserable. I'm enjoying it. I just feel like it's a lot of pages sort of. But yeah, I think there is a little bit more of, internal conflict happening, for each person individually. Both Miles and Daphne have kind of revealed a little bit more about their pasts and what sort of baggage they're carrying around. And so I am enjoying that part, and I am enjoying the tension between the two of them. So yeah, I don't really want to give much more away about plot stuff at this point in the book, but I'm enjoying it. I don't tend to listen to audiobooks very much when I'm not at work. I might try to finish that ASAP, but I have a bunch of other stuff I'm going to work on this weekend for Faceoff and for this most recent leg of the race for Cape Town. So better get going, huh? Hello, good morning. It is Friday morning. I've been up for not too long, 35 minutes or so. I was able to sleep in a little bit on my day off, and I've been so far just kind of putzing around. It is currently 9:57 as I'm filming this. Today's my day off from work, so I have a few things I was hoping to do. Just kind of, some of it is cleaning, some of it is reading, because today is the face-off for the Amazing Readathon. That starts at noon. So I have a number of things lined up for that. I have I don't know, 4 or 5 manga that I could read. I have a few novellas out from the library. I have a number of, I sorted through my Kindle Unlimited titles that I have on my TBR by page count. So it seems like a number of the ones that I have on my Kindle Unlimited TBR that are the shortest are Christmassy. So I don't know if I want to read those or not. We shall see. But I have plenty of things lined up to try to read as many novellas and short things that I can. Everything has to be at least 50 pages to count. So we shall see. But I have lots of that lined up for the Amazing Readathon once Face-Off starts. So I think between now and then, I'm going to clean my floors, do a little bit of prep, and I don't know. I don't know when I'm gonna. I might go wake Ben up and take him for breakfast or something. I don't know, because once noon hits, I want to have a good chunk of reading time. So I'm not sure how the schedule's gonna fall out, but that's the plan for today. Hello. Okay, so it is 12:42, and I have just finished my first book for Face-Off for the Amazing Readathon. This is kind of a terrible, I should have taken today off because I have so much I want to do. But the first book that I finished for Face-Off for the Amazing Readathon was called Here. Sorry, Shiny. Here, and the author is Richard McGuire. I actually heard about this as a recommendation on Witty Novels. Is that her name? Witty Reads? Whitney? Whitney Novels is her channel name. Her name is Whitney. She mentioned it, and I read this for the first book. It is a graphic novel. There's like not very many words per page, but like so the setting or the premise is that you, the reader, are standing here from this perspective, and this is what you are seeing. And so at the upper corner, most pages is a year, and it's like, this is what you're seeing from that year. But then there are also these like little window inserts that have their own year that says like, from this perspective in this year, this is what you were seeing. And so as you go throughout the book, like sometimes the time is like a zillion years ago, and it's like amorphous and nothing. But then like, there's a wide variety of years to cover, and it's beautiful art. It's beautiful colors. It's very interesting. There's not a plot in any way, but there is just this sort of feeling of being zoomed out and perceiving and understanding from our perspective in 2024 of like what time is like, and the scope of things, and even how within just a few short years, like sometimes there's years that are back to back to each other, and yet there's a big difference. And so I don't know, I found it really thought-provoking. Like at the end I kind of wanted to cry, even though nothing like happened. And it's this beautifully zoomed out view to have of life and your impact. And I don't know, maybe like kind of made me feel small, but also, if someone was doing this and had this perspective of like my life or like this spot, like I would be a major player for at least some of the time. I don't know. It was very interesting. I think it's going to stick with me. It was very different to what I would normally read, but yeah, I have at least one book that I can count for Faceoff, and something I'm going to be thinking about a lot going forward, even though like nothing happened. I have a number of other things lined up, but right now I'm going to go and have lunch with Benjamin and return stuff to the library and pick up a few things from the grocery store. And then we also haven't finished Bridgerton yet. This was maybe poor planning on my part. We should have like stayed up late and gotten up earlier to try to finish Bridgerton, but there will be some of that also happening. So I will see you when I finish the next book or have something to report. Hello. Okay, so it is Saturday mid-afternoon. It's been a second since I've updated you because I have been kind of busy. I've been not reading. Yesterday I read here, then Ben and I went and had lunch, and then when I got home I kind of dove right into things that I needed to do. We hung up screens on our back porch so that it would be sort of like a partially screened in, and that's nice. And then I was cleaning the house and getting, making dinner for myself, etc. before game night, which was very fun. But after that I was like exhausted and went to bed. So for today I kind of woke up a little bit with a headache. I'm not sure why that is. I think I'm dehydrated. But I have just been kind of like taking things easy, taking things slow, but had a chill day. We had someone here cleaning our gutters and power washing the house, and Ben and I finished Bridgerton, so we finally officially finished season 3 of Bridgerton, and it was good. I think I still like season 2 a little bit better. But I enjoyed it. So we finished Bridgerton, and I finished first volume of... I finished the book, A Sign of Affection, which is the first volume of this series, and the author is Sue Morishita. I had been hearing recommendations for this before, and I went and looked on Goodreads, and it was like, hey, you've already read the first volume. And I was like, are you sure about that? But then I got the stuff from the library, and yeah, it definitely started coming back to me once I started reading it. And my feelings now are very much so similar to the first time that I read this. The first time I read this, I looked it up. According to Goodreads, I read this in November of 2022. And I agree with my thoughts. I feel like our main female character of Yuki she's just like super sheltered, super naive, super just earnest. And it's just painfully... I mean, I know she's young. This is basically like a new adult story, as both of our characters are in college. And so I understand that she's like 18. You know, I get that she's young, but like, I don't know. I felt like I didn't really get any like personality from her. And she just like, just is a kind of obnoxious to read about. And I feel like the main male character love interest guy, Itsuomi, is just kind of like bland. Like, he's like, I travel. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't feel like there's any like chemistry between them. I don't think that he, like, him like rubbing her hair, like, I'm like, okay, like, way to infantilize her as like a child. And I don't know. I felt like he was just kind of like boring. I didn't get anything from him. I don't know. I'm going to give it another shot. I have volume 2 checked out. I think there could potentially be something. From this first volume, she's like, I think I'm in love with him. And I'm like, why? You've had no conversations. He doesn't seem interested in you. Like, you've met 10 people in your whole life. Like, what's going on? So I don't know. We shall see. I'm going to withhold official judgment on the whole series, because like, I think that the premise of having a deaf main character who's trying to communicate with and instruct this other guy who's not deaf in sign language, I think that's cool and interesting. But like, I don't know, volume 1 is just kind of a letdown, because like, I just don't give a shit about either of the characters. Hi. Okay, so I finished the second volume of A Sign of Affection, volume 2. This is also by Sue Morishita. It's fine. It's getting a little bit better. There's a little bit more opportunity for our two main characters to get to know each other. There are numerous sort of longing glances, possibly just like blank stares. I don't know. I feel like I can't always like interpret the emotions in manga very well, but the characters are starting to try to communicate. They go on a shopping run together, sort of a little bit of as like a double date with this other couple. I don't know. I'm not really that invested. So I do have the third volume. So I'm just going to go ahead and plow through that as well, because these are quick and easy and I can get through them in like less than a half an hour. But I don't know. I think that if I'm not like, ooh, hooked by the end of the third volume, I think I'm just going to be like, this one's a miss for me. Okay. The third volume of A Sign of Affection. It's pretty cute. Yeah, so I just finished the third volume of A Sign of Affection, and we finally get to learn a little bit more of the main male character's perspective, his feelings. He has a discussion with his cousin and reveals that he has feelings for Yuki, and then he ends up asking Yuki out, and so they are officially a couple. I think the perspective, this is like a cultural thing that's a little different, or maybe this is only in manga, I don't know, where the characters seem to be like feeling love before they are together, and then like them dating is like deepening that love, or like growing it or whatever. And like he already made a comment about how he's like, I don't know if I'm ever gonna be able to break up with her. And I'm like, okay, she's 19, you're 22, could you guys chill? Like, they haven't really even spent a ton of time together, like together. It's like mostly online. Not saying that online couldn't work or whatever. I'm just saying that like also it doesn't feel like we, the reader, have like seen enough. So from my perspective as like an American person who reads a lot of romance novels, like my favorite thing is to watch and understand and be there for the people who are having the feelings, like see people falling in love. And so I'm a little annoyed that like these two are like already having those feelings, and I'm over here being like, but why? Like, you can be interested, but just don't call it love. So I don't know. Also, it's hard to see what the like tension is going to be, or the conflict is going to be. I suppose there is some inherent little bit of conflict with him wanting to travel so much, but that's something that like could be worked around, and she could potentially join him in the future. I think there could be some potential conflict with the fact that him not knowing sign language, but he's learning, so okay. I think that there is a potential like love triangle situation with the childhood friend who does know sign, who seems to be interested in Yuki, but like she seems oblivious to him. She seems oblivious to most things. So I don't know. I'm not so like in love with the whole thing that I would want to just plow through the rest of this. I don't know. How long can we just like follow these two who in this relationship? I mean, I guess that's what like the point is, I guess. So I don't know. I'm changing directions. Also, in the next like 20 minutes or so, I'm going to have to leave to go to my friend's house. We are she hosts like, instead of a book club, it's a movie club, and so we're watching a movie tonight. And she lives like 45-ish minutes away from me, so I'm gonna have to leave here soon to go do all of that. So I don't know how much more I'm gonna have opportunities to read tonight. I might try to, very quickly before I leave, download a short book. I have a couple of options picked out. I'm gonna see, I think maybe there might have been a Kindle Audible thing attached to one of the Kindle Unlimited short novellas that I checked out. So I'm going to try to see if I can find something that's an audiobook so that I can listen to it on my drive, so I can maybe get like one more short thing done tonight. I will come back to you later with the next book that I managed to finish. Hello, good morning. It is Sunday morning. There is 1 hour and 2 minutes left of Faceoff before the 48-hour event is finished. So I got up early a little bit to work on some reading to try to submit some last minute books for Faceoff and like earn my team some points. Yesterday was fun, was good. Last night I went to movie club and we watched the movie Shortcomings, which I didn't particularly enjoy, and like none of my like friends, like also no one enjoyed it really. My frustration was really more like, what was the point of the movie? Like, it was basically just showing this guy who has a lot of shortcomings, who just kind of doesn't have his life figured out, but also he's kind of a jerk. And then like towards the end of the movie, I think the movie ends with him starting to realize that maybe he's been a jerk, and like that's it. And so it's just sort of like, I don't know, for me it didn't do it for me. The end. But I am tuning in right now to tell you that I have finished a book this morning, and I finished the third volume of Spy X Family by Tatsuya Endo. Last year, I think it was in 2023, I read volumes 1 and 2, and now I've decided to continue in an attempt to try to get some books under my belt. This series is about our three main characters who have come together. Our male main character is this infamous spy named Twilight, who is on a mission to try to bring peace to his country or whatever. And to do that, he needs to like pretend to have this family, to infiltrate this school, to get access to this important guy's like son. And that's how he's going to get like access to this important guy, right? So Twilight creates this identity of Lloyd, and he ends up in the first couple of volumes adopting a daughter and to ultimately enroll in the school. And that is Anya. She is one of our three main characters, and Anya is, I don't know, like 6 or 7, like she's maybe even potentially younger than that, but her secret ability is that she is telepathic. So she agrees to be adopted by him because she's like, this guy's a spy. That is so cool. And then to complete this picture, he needs a wife. And so he goes and ultimately enters into like a fake marriage with this woman named Yor, who, because of the world that this is taking place, like women who are single are potentially like more suspicious, I guess. I don't know. I don't remember the reasoning for that, but her secret identity is that she's secretly an assassin, and an assassin for hire. And so Anya, the young girl, the telepath, can tell that she's an assassin, and Anya helps facilitate this family working out, because Anya wants this to be a family. And the whole rest of the series is just the hijinks that this family gets into, and they're constantly trying to work for each other, trying to, like, all of them have this goal of making the family work, making the fakeness of it kind of work, essentially. Like, they're like, well, I gotta really play this role, but then they're also sort of starting to have like real feelings towards these other people and like caring about these other people. So it's funny, it's goofy, it's over the top. There's a smattering of like violence sprinkled throughout, and this volume was no different. So it continues to be kind of a goofy fun time in my opinion. I think there is also a show of this. I think they've made it into a show, but I don't think that I have access to that show. Like, I think I have to pay for it or something. But anyway, it's been good. I have a good time. I'm having a good time. I now am down to 57 minutes or so. I would love to finish the 4th volume, which I have checked out from my library. And if I can manage to do that, just squeak it into the time, that would be great. Because then I will have finished like 6 books in 48 hours. All of which will be like manga, but considering I had plans Friday night and Saturday night, that's pretty good for me. Hello. I finished the 4th volume of Spy Family with literally 2 minutes left to go before the end of Faceoff. Volumes 4 of Spy X Family was good. We followed the family who has just gotten a dog, and it was all of the sort of adventures involved because of course this couldn't just be like a normal cute dog. It has to also have abilities. And I thought it was kind of fun and interesting because I feel like we see Anya do, I don't want to say more than she ever has because there's been moments before when she's had influence and opportunity to help out. But like, I felt like in the past, those were always just like relatively little things. Whereas this was like a go off, have her own adventure kind of situation. So yeah, we are following cute little family here, and I don't want to like talk too much about the plot because this is volume 4 of the series, but it still continues to be goofy and fun, and like really dramatic. There were bad guys who were trying to use dogs to transport bombs and stuff. It got kind of nuts, but like kind of in the goofiest way that this series seems to handle really well. So I'm gonna submit this volume 4 for the Faceoff Weekend, and ultimately that means that I will have finished 6 books during this 48 hours. I read, just as a summary real quick for you and me here, the first book I read was a graphic novel called Here by Richard McGuire, which I really enjoyed and would recommend. And then I read the first 3 volumes of A Sign of Affection by Sue Morishita. This is a manga that is following this couple where the main female character is deaf and she's starting college, and she meets this guy who she starts to like, and then there are sparks between them. It's a romance. He is hearing and is starting to learn sign language to communicate with her. And then I continued my stories with Spy X Family. I read volume 3 and 4, and we are following this family that is trying to function as a full family, even though he's a spy, she's a secret assassin, and we have a secret telepath, and now they have a dog. So I had a good time this Face-Off weekend, and it was a cool 48 hours. I was able to finish 6 books, which is like 6 whole points for my romance team. But as far as I can tell from the romance team in the Discord, it seems like we were doing a really good job. It seems like we earned quite a number of mystery items for the scavenger hunt thing. So I'm not sure exactly what that means for us in the end with regards to like winning or losing, but I don't know. I think we did a really good job, and like as a group, as a team romance. So yeah, at this point, it is now just after noon on Sunday. My husband and I were talking about going and putting some lunch together for us, and maybe I can convince him to go get Chipotle. We'll see. But I think I'm actually going to end this vlog here. I think the last number of weeks I've managed to, there's just an announcement. Face-Off Weekend has concluded. Oh my goodness. Oh, it's so fun to watch all these emojis. Like, there must be so many people in this Discord that are active right now because these emojis are just like ticking up. So it says teams At the end of 1 hour, they will be announced the winner of Faceoff. So I'm going to end the vlog here. I think that I've ended the last couple on Sundays anyway. If I read any more this afternoon, which I might, because I'm kind of like in between books right now, and I still do need to complete the most recent city prompt. I might start next week's vlog with a clip from Sunday, but thank you for sticking with all this chaos. I hope that you were entertained a little bit with this week, and I will see you next week.